Ever wondered who really discovered America? Forget what you learned in history class about 1492. We need to rewind the clock almost 500 years earlier, to a time of legendary longships and fearless Norse explorers. This is the story of the Vikings and their journey to a new world. By the late 10th century, the Vikings had already pushed the boundaries of the known world. They weren't just raiders anymore. They were master sailors and settlers. They had conquered the harsh landscapes of Iceland and even established colonies in icy Greenland. But for these restless adventurers, the horizon always called. Whispers and tales began to spread among the Greenland settlements, stories of another land, even farther west, a place no European had ever seen. These stories captured the imagination of a young man named Leif Erikson. You might have heard of his father, the famous or infamous Eric the Red, who founded the Greenland settlement after being exiled from Iceland. Leif, inheriting his father's adventurous spirit, heard a report from a sailor who had been blown off course and spotted a mysterious coastline. Intrigued by the promise of a land rich with timber, something desperately needed in barren Greenland, Leif decided he had to see it for himself. So, around the year 1000, Leif Erikson and his crew set sail into the vast, unforgiving North Atlantic. They weren't guided by modern compasses or GPS, but by the sun, the stars, and an intimate knowledge of the sea. Their journey was a brutal battle against thick fog, treacherous icebergs, and bone-chilling currents. It was a test of courage, skill, and sheer endurance. After days or even weeks at sea, their perseverance paid off. Land appeared on the horizon. They had reached a new continent. What they found was a paradise compared to the icy shores of Greenland. They saw dense, towering forests, lush meadows, and rivers teeming with salmon. It was a land of incredible abundance. They explored the coast, making several stops. One place was so full of wild grapes and vines that Leif named it Vinland, the land of wine. It seemed like the perfect place to build a new life, a land of opportunity. But this new world was not empty. The Vikings soon came face to face with the native inhabitants of the land, people they called Skrælings. At first, their interactions were peaceful. The Norsemen traded milk and red cloth for valuable furs. But these two worlds were vastly different, and it wasn't long before misunderstandings and cultural clashes led to tension and conflict. The Vikings were skilled warriors, but they were vastly outnumbered. Their dream of a permanent settlement in Vinland began to crumble. The small group of Norse settlers